So let's take a second and imagine up towards the sky, up past the trees, past the mountains, past all the work you've been successfully avoiding all week. And sooner or later, you should arrive at the ozone layer. Located approximately 20 to 30 kilometers or 9 to 18 miles above our planet's surface, the ozone layer is a naturally occurring belt of the Earth's atmosphere which protects virtually all life on Earth. Now, some of you might be thinking a few different things when I mention ozone, so let's dive into what the ozone layer is and why it is important for each of you. As the name suggests, the ozone layer is composed of the molecule ozone, which contains 3 oxygen atoms. One property of this molecule is that it can absorb harmful UVB radiation coming from the sun. The reason this type of radiation is so bad is because it plays a key role in the development of skin cancer. So while visible light and UVA rays can pass through, the ozone layer protects us from the UVB radiation that would otherwise harm us. It turns out if you mention the ozone layer at parties, most people will bring up the wrongly named ozone hole and will start to wonder how you got invited anywhere. Due to the prevalent use of aerosols in developed countries, chemicals called chlorofluorocarbons, or CFCs, have been released into the air. When exposed to cold clouds and sunlight, much like the conditions found in Antarctica in the spring, CFCs release chloride ions. Each chloride ion can react with up to 100,000 different ozone molecules before it's removed from the atmosphere. This ultimately decreases the concentration of ozone. So, the ozone hole is not a literal hole, but rather an area where the concentration of ozone has been drastically reduced. More UVB radiation is able to come in through this area, bringing its harmful consequences with it. In 1985, NASA scientists confirmed the world was in serious trouble. Above Antarctica, an area the size of the US had been severely depleted of ozone. If the world continued releasing aerosols at this rate, it was estimated that millions more would be at risk of skin cancer. This spurred an initiative across nearly every country to work towards a solution, which resulted in the adoption of the Montreal Protocol. The Montreal Protocol, passed in 1987, had countries around the globe pledge to reduce the amount of ozone-depleting substances being emitted. After 30-plus years of this movement, scientists believe that the hole is starting to close and will prevent millions of cases of skin cancer in the future. The Montreal Protocol was the first global environmental regime to be universally ratified, which ultimately saved the ozone layer. While industrialization has affected our planet in numerous different ways, this shows that there is still hope that we can unite and correct our mistakes.